All right, recording's happening right now, so we are live.
Hi, guys.
Say hi, YouTube.
Hi, Twitch.
Oh, look who it
I lost my children.
is. So you're going to be here today?
I lost them.
I already marked you guys all out.
Are you like recording?
Yeah, I am.
Hi YouTube.
What's up, YouTube? What's
We're playing volley tennis, but I don't understand how they're in the
All right, so quiz 6. Who would like a copy of quiz 6 so that your stuff matches mine? I can also just copy this for you at the end. That's the other option. So if that's what you want to do, we'll do that. Let me make sure I've got some quiz 6s to hand out. And that they all match. Uh-oh. Does not appear I have a ton of matching quiz 6s. YouTube.
Yo, what if you put on marker? Yep.
Here we go. All right, who wants quiz 6 to follow along with? Should look like this one. There you go. There you go. Anybody else? Marceau? Anybody else? You? I don't think copy mine yet. Anybody else want one?
Wait, you're saying you can make a copy of your...
I literally can, yeah. Might be better to watch the show, you know what I mean? Anybody else need one? You? Can I give you? Or you take it?
I have all the basic questions.
All right, so let's start out. Any basic quiz 6 questions you want to see, let me know. Nobody wants to see 813?
No.
Yeah. You say so.
What's 813?
I would assume 813 is this next one.
Let's do 821.
821?
Yeah.
All right, 821. Here we go. It says graph the equation. This is in standard form. Standard form's easy if you think of it like a puzzle, Kaylee Horton. So let's zoom in. Oh, wait, you want 821. That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
822.
Yep, that's cool. So what is the slope? Well, slope is rise over run. So it's our vertical change over horizontal change. So vertical has to deal with the y values. So how much change between 1 and -7?
-8.
-8. And again, it went down 8 if we're going from here to here. Now, if we think about horizontal change, we're talking about the x values. How much change between -2 and 3? +5. So our slope, and slope is a fraction or some kind of number, is going to be -8 over 5. That's m, our slope, Monter. Don't give me a coordinate, I swear to God. A coordinate is location, a slope is an angle. It's going down 8 over 5. That's the line's slope. Pretty steep. All right. Feeling good about that?
Yep.
822.
Yep.
Standard form, as I was saying earlier. If you treat it like a puzzle, it ain't no thing. Can anybody think of what times 3 gets me -12?
That's it. -4.
-4. So -4 for x will make -12 here. So -12 minus what is -12? Yeah, so we need this to be 0. So what times 2 gets me 0? 0. Okay, so that's a point on our line. That's an easy one. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to get a buzz cut.
Two actions. In case they're going to change up.
Yeah, I know. You guys all watch the same TikTok videos. All right. Adorable. So this guy right here. What about another set of numbers that would work for this? For me, I always ask myself, what if this guy's 0? Well, then this would need to be 6, wouldn't it? That works. 6 times -2 is 12. So 0, 6. That's our x-intercept and y-intercept. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I usually try to make them pretty easy on this one, so you don't have to deal with any fractions. But you could have found other numbers, right? You could have made that 3 times 2 to get 6, and had this be -18, so y would be 9, so 6, 9 would work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6, 9.
Oh, yeah.
6, 9. Oh, 2, 9. My bad. 2, 9. Which would be up here. That makes sense. Shout out to 6, 9, though.
What?
Shout out to 6, 9.
No.
All right. 823 or 832, is that what we need to see next? 832. We know our line goes through -4, 5, so I should probably just plot that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's -4, 5. And then we know our slope is 2/7. So that means our vertical change between any of our points is 2, and our horizontal change between any of our points is 7. So if I want to find another point, I could change this vertically by 2 and change it horizontally by 7. Looks like I end up there. Ta-da, there's my line. Beautiful. How you like them apples? Up 2, right, is what's happening here. Right 7. That's what a slope of 2/7 means. Vertical change, horizontal change. We could keep doing that. We could go in reverse, down 2, back 7, right? That's how slope works. 833, yes or no? Mm-hmm. Midpoint. Midpoint's the average location between 2 points. Wouldn't you agree? The middle is the average location. All right, so let's find the average x location. What's the average of -1 and 8? Well, to find an average, you divide it. You add them up and divide by the number of pieces. Since we have 2 pieces, we'll divide by 2. So what's -1 plus 8? Divided by 2. 7/2. So there's our x value for our middle coordinate, right? Our midpoint. To find our y value, we're going to average the y's. So let's average the y's. 3 plus -5. And of course, we're dividing by 2 because there's 2 of them. What's 3 plus -5? 3 plus -5? -2. What's -2 divided by 2? -1. That's the middle. 7/2. Makes sense it would be positive, right? The middle is going to be a positive number between those two. And -1, that makes sense. -1's 4 away from 3 and 4 away from -5. So yeah, it's the middle. How you like them apples? That's it. Average them up. 841, yes or no?
Yeah.
Find the equation in standard form. That's this guy. Of the line that passes through 6, 3. So it's gonna pass through these two. To find standard form, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna create an equation of a line. I know that the slope sucks to suck.
You actually lost?
Yeah.
Well, a line consists of any amount of points.
Super.
You good? All right, a line consists of any amount of points and another point and their slope. So the slope is rise over run. So let's pick a point. I'm going to pick this one. You could have picked this one over here, but I'm going to pick this one. Y minus 3 and x minus 6, because that's an x value, that's a y value, is going to give us our slope. Well, what is our slope? Well, we can use these 2 points to kind of figure it out. What's our vertical change here from -1 to 3? What's our vertical change? 4, because we're going from -1 to 3. What's our horizontal change from -2 to 6? 8. Also known as a half. So if you want to simplify that, make it a half. This is our equation. Now, it's not in standard form, but it is our equation of our line. The distance between any of our points will always be the slope, right? That's what this means. So how do we get it looking like that? Well, notice there's no division. So let's times by x minus 6 to both sides. Why am I timesing by x minus 6? What's that going to do?
Well, it's my mathematics.
So what's x minus 6 going to do?
X minus 6. Wait, minus 6.
Why am I timesing by x minus 6? Brandon knows. Brandon, go ahead. Yep, these are going to divide out, right?
Brandon, I'm gonna pull
So those divide out, and we get y minus 3. Over here, we get a half times x minus 6. Now, instead of distributing the half, which you could do, I'm just going to times everything by 2, because remember, in standard form, we're not allowed to have fractions, no division at all. So if we times everything by 2, we get 2y minus 6. If I times that by 2, it goes away. That's why I did it. So I just get x minus 6. If I get x and y on the same side, I get 2y minus x equals. If I add 6 to get rid of this, what's going to happen when I add 6 to both sides? Here it goes away. What's going to happen over here if I add 6? It's also going to go away. It's going to be 0, right? That's okay. Here's our standard form. 2y minus x equals 0. Sometimes you get 0. 0 is just a number. Again, the setup here is the distance between any point and a point we know. I chose this one. Will always be our slope. I found slope, right? Get rid of division. Get x and y on the same side. That's standard form. 842.
Yep.
Find it in standard form again. Make sure x and y, no division. We know it goes through 0, 7 and has a slope of -2. Now, there's a couple ways to do this. Last time we had to find the slope. Well, they gave us the slope. We know the slope between any of our points and a point we know will always be -2. Here we can times by x minus 0 to both sides, but isn't x minus 0 just x? Like x take away nothing is just x, right? So instead of times by x minus 0, let's times by x to both sides. When we do this, we get -2x equals y minus 7. Get an x and y on the same side. I'll subtract that. Why not? Ta-da. Standard form. Another way to do this is to realize that what is special about this point? What's special about this point? What kind of point is that? What is that? Imagine it. Where's 0, 7? Y-intercept. That's our slope and our y-intercept. So you could say, look, that's slope-intercept form. Boom, right there. Slope-intercept form. And then I add 2x, and I get this. Done. I like that one, because if you're clever, you can set up slope-intercept and then just move it over and you win.
I'm a very clever.
Okay. Hey, what do you want to do next?
Next one.
851.
No. Yeah, next one.
I need to interview it because I got my basic.
Sounds like 851.
Yeah, ask you.
Find the slope, x-intercept and y-intercept. X-intercepts all have something in common. They have 0 for y because they're on the x-axis, right? The y-intercepts have something in common. They all have 0 for x because they're on the y-axis, right? They're going to be up and down, not left and right. What form is this? Slope-intercept, that's my boy. So we know what our slope is. Our slope's -3, that's m, right? Our y-intercept we get for free as well, because when x is 0, what happens? What happens when I plug in 0 for x? What happens when I plug in 0 for x? What happens when I plug in 0 for x? 0 times -3 is 0. So what do y equal when x is 0? 4. Right? This is b, also known as the y-intercept. For the x-intercept, it's a little bit trickier. We need to see what happens when we plug in 0 for y. Well, if I do that, we get this. So think about it. What plus 4 gets me 0? -4. So I wish that was -4. What times 3 gets me -4? What times 3 is going to get me 4? Gotta be a fraction, right? 1, not in a 1 1/4, but 1 1/3, also known as 4/3. Now, here's why that's going to be an easy answer, right? Can you imagine what's going to happen if I times this by 3? 3 goes away, right? And what do we get? 4, -4 plus 4 is 0. So let's graph it. 0, 4 is our y-intercept. 4/3, comma 0, that's 1 1/3, like Jevin was saying, is our x-intercept. And you could have found any points to graph it, but, you know, since we had to find these anyway, might as well use them. We found the slope because we got it for free. We found our x-intercept, we found our y-intercept, we graphed the equation. 851 done.
All right, let's do another one.
And another one.
Run it.
Run it.
Run me my money.
Toad!
Toad don't know yet.
What form is this, Toad? That's standard for it all day. So if we want to find our x-intercept, all x-intercepts have 0 for y because they're on the x-axis, no verticality. Y-intercepts have 0 for x because they have no horizontalness. So let's find them. Imagine that x is 0. What happens when x is 0? Goes away. What times 7 gets you 12? Got to be a fraction. 12 over 7, that's my boy! Because when you times that by 7, you get 12. 12 sevenths. Now, for the x-intercept, imagine y is 0. What's going to happen? It goes away, right? So what times 2 is 12? 6. So 6 zeros are x-intercept. Let's graph them. So 6 zeros here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, comma 0. And 0, 12 sevenths is here. That's almost 2. There we go. Connect the dots. There's my line. Beautiful. The slope. You could find it. You could say, look, I go down 12/7 and I go to the right 6. Think about what this means. What's 12/7 divided by 6? What do you think? What do you think 12/7 divided by 6 is? It is. What's 12/7 divided by 6? Not 3, but he's close. I mean, that's true. Imagine you have 12 of something. We'll call them sevenths, but you have 12 of something, and you divide it by 6. Now what do you have? 2 of something. 2 of what? 2/7, and of course it's negative. Now, if you weren't sure about that, you could say either of these are the slope. I don't care. This is fine. But yeah, 12/7 divided by 6 is just 2/7. Shocker. What do you notice about 2/7 in this? Ah, relationship, right? And think about that. If we get it in slope-intercept form, we would subtract the 2x. So we've got a -2 in front of the x, and then we would divide by 7, right? Look familiar? Carl, are you bothering him?
No.
I think you're bothering him.
No.
Okay. Because we know what happens.
I'm fine sitting next to you.
854. Find the slope-intercept form. Toad, what's slope-intercept form?
It's y equals
Yep, and m's the slope, y is the y-intercept. They don't give us the y-intercept. Darn, if they did, it'd be super easy, right? Just plug that in, plug that in. But they do give us the slope, so we know it's going to look like this. The x-intercept's just a point, man. It means that when we plug in -8 for x, we should get 0 for y. So in our equation, what do we need b to make that true? Well, if we plug in 0 for y and -8 for this, hey, he's thinking. This is 32, right? So what does b have to be to make that 0? -32. So we know our equation needs to look like this in order to make it work. Right? -8, 0 should work. In order to make it work, b has to be -32. That's slope-intercept form. Done.
Can I have that?
You can when I'm done.
Yeah.
Any other basics we want to see?
The next one. I want to copy it.
That's it, bro.
I'll get you a copy.
intermediate.
Any other basics? We don't want to see the one to find the distance between the points? Everybody screwing up on Pythagorean theorem? Okay. Intermediates, or do we want to go to a different quiz?
Yeah.
Determine the distance. Figure out which one's the farthest, right? Okay. So if we're starting on 0, 0, that's the origin. And I'm going to -6, -6, that's here. We want to find the distance. What's the distance horizontally between these points? See you later, kid. Let me know if you're going to be okay. Let's find the distance between these 2 points. Horizontally, how far are they apart, you think? -6 or 6. Distance, we don't care, right? How far are we apart between 0 and 6? 6. So it looks like for Pythag, we do 6 squared plus 6 squared, and that'll get us this, our length, if we root it. That's 72 rooted. Okay, cool. So you might notice if I'm using 0 all the time, the distance is pretty easy to figure out, right? So how far is -8 away from 0? 8. How far is 5 away from 0? 5. Let's find the Pythagorean theorem of that. 64 and 25 gets us 89. So that's clearly farther away, right? Root 89 is bigger than root 72. Next one, 9 away, 2 away. That's 81 and 4, that's root 85. Ooh, close, but still this one's the biggest. 6 and 6, well, we've already done that one. Doesn't matter whether it's negative or positive. 7 and 7, well, that's going to get us this much away. 49 and 49 is going to get us 98. So it looks like this one's the farthest. 64 and 25 is 89, yeah. 81 and 4 is 85. 49 and 49, well, 50 and 50 is 100, so 49 and 49 is 98. So it looks like this one's the furthest way. How you like that?
Have that paper now.
Next one in the box, 815. Recall that the absolute value of x is distance between x and 0 on the number line. Remember, absolute value just tells you how far something is away. It doesn't matter whether it's negative or positive. So why is this the distance between x and y? Absolute value tells you that it's always positive, and that's true for distance. Distance is always positive. Why are we minusing x and y if we want to find the distance? Why are we minusing? We want to find the distance. Why am I minusing?
Because you
Carl, I'm on 10, you're on 2. How far are we apart? How'd you do it?
subtract.
Subtraction,
10 minus
right?
2.
Subtraction is distance.
Well, it doesn't like you, so. Well, you guys just
Well, the good news is it can't change, right? What do you want to see next?
I have no back. I almost answered the question without a sentence.
I don't know.
go down.
What's on the next page?
I watched Outer Banks.
No.
Oh. I get the goal down.
Oh yeah, do this one.
Remember what an equation is. It's just a pattern, right? Find me all the numbers that fit that pattern. So y equals -7. Can you give me all the coordinates where y is -7? Give me a coordinate where y is -7. 0, -7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would be part of this pattern, right? 1, -7 would be. 2, -7. -8, -7. What kind of line is that going to make? There you go. And you didn't say straight line. Nice job. Everybody says straight line. I go, all lines are straight. Otherwise, it'd be a curve. So what's the slope? Looks like 0. Okay. What about this pattern? X equals 1.9. Give me a coordinate where x is 1.9. 1.9 comma 34 would work.
Yes.
1.9 comma 34, that's way up here. Well, what else?
10.
10 comma 1.9. 6 comma 1.9. 0 comma 1.9. What do all these points have in common? Vertical line, baby. Now, what is the slope on this one? Well, if you think about it, it has whatever verticality you want, and it has 0 horizontalness. What's anything divided by 0? Undefined. Undefined. Just like this one had 0 verticality, and it had whatever horizontalness you wanted, right? 0 divided by anything is 0, which is why our slope is 0. Anything divided by 0? Undefined. I love asking this question to calculus students because they always assume that that's like the slope because y equals mx plus b. That's all they barely know. And they don't really know it. But it's really easy, right? All the points where y is -7. But if they've never thought about algebra, then it's impossible. Equations are just patterns. What do you want?
Next one.
Okay.
Another one. Well, we can go to another quiz if you want.
Run it. Run me my paper.
I don't think anyone's
Carl is.
I care.
824. Tell me the slope, estimate it. Tell me if it's bigger than 1 if it's positive. Tell me if it's bigger than or less than -1 if it's negative. So, here's what I'm going to do. Let's zoom in.
I got you, dog.
This one right here, positive or negative?
Negative.
No.
Positive.
Pick a point on here. Pick a random point.
34. I mean,
Right there.
10.
We're going to the right 3, and we're going up 2. Those are all positive directions. So it looks like our slope is 2/3, which of course is smaller than 1, but it is positive, right? Now that's an estimate because that's not really 3. That point right there isn't perfectly on the line, but you know, rough estimate.
Just rough.
What about this one? What's the slope here? Undefined, because it's infinite verticality divided by 0 horizontalness. Dividing by 0 doesn't work.
Look at you go.
Here. Now, it's hard to tell which line's the line and which one's the x-axis, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because either one's going to have the same slope. What's the slope of either of these lines?
The same thing.
0.
So run
Horizontal or verticalness is whatever. Sorry, horizontalness is whatever you want. Verticalness is 0. 0 over anything is 0.
We did not ask.
Positive or negative? Negative. It looks like it's going down 2 over 2. So it looks like it's exactly equal to -1. That's fine. -2 over 2 is 1.
Mm-hmm.
So that's negative.
Yep.
This one, positive or negative?
Positive.
We're going to the right and up. So that's positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I had to guess, it's 1/5 slope. That's why it's not very steep, right? And 1/5 is, of course, smaller than 1. Positive or negative?
Positive. Negative.
Negative is going down. We're going down 1, it looks like, and we're going over a bunch. Looks like over like 10. I don't know, right? But it's clearly like -1 over 10 or -1 over 11. That's going to be closer to 0. So be careful about negatives, right? Think about it. Is this greater than or less than -1? It's greater than because it's closer to 0. It's closer to the right. Does that make sense? Think about the number line. -1's here. -1, a tenth is here. So that's going to be greater.
Yep.
That's the part that screws everybody up.
Yep. Run the monies. Run the monies.
Run it.
Run it.
Run it.
Run it.
We want to see 831 or no?
Nah.
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 833.
Nah.
843.
Nah.
Anybody else?
No. Emmy.
I gotta make copies of Carl.
I'll make a copy for you right now.
Right now.
Right now. On John.
Anybody want to see quiz 5 or quiz 4? Everybody needs quiz 5. Come on, you don't want to see quiz 5?
Huh?
Quiz 4? Oh, I can pass it out and we can take a look.
I'll
We
make
good?
copies. On John, I will.
All right, I'll make a copy. Who wants a copy of this quiz 6? How many am I making? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll make 8 just in case.
I would do it for you. I'll go down to the office and do that.
All right, video's getting uploaded to YouTube as soon as I turn